This is middle third. We're back.
We're back.
It's opinion time. It's opinion time, mate. So
Who's got a stronger opinion, you reckon? Well, it depends on the topic. It's about Nathan Cleary, probably me.
well, yeah, Nathan Cleary definitely. Probably everything else is probably me. Yeah, you're Nathan Cleary on its own. I'm just probably everything else. But here we are, mate. So we're round 7's done. I suppose the table is as the table is. So, and it's who would have probably predicted to be quite looking like this. Now with the top 8, Bulldogs, Storm, Raiders, Warriors, Broncos, Sharks, Dragons, and the Rabbits. So let's just quickly let's spend 60 seconds on each team and just go through where we think they are as a report card. So parent-teacher interview time. So we're going to have a bit of a meeting of where they sit. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up. So the Eels, with 2 wins, currently on the bottom of the table. Well, where do you score them right now? I suppose you can take into consideration they have had Mitchell Moses out first game back.
I'll say a D.
D?
Because not a lot was expected of them.
I'd have a D plus.
D plus?
Yeah, D. Just a little bit better than just a D. But still over and all because they're pretty bad. But so I'm happy to. So should we rank that down to a D or up to a D plus? What do you think?
What gives them the grounds the D plus? They win on the weekend?
No, they win against their first win. Got them a plus. Got 2 wins.
What D plus?
D plus. Oh, okay. So Mitchell Moses is now back in the side. So any chance of making a run at the 8?
Not at the 8, but certainly getting off the bottom. Yeah, I think so.
So their chance of getting may not necessarily feel. All right, okay. Most still have them favourites for the spoon, though.
I still think there's some more sides that'll come down and they'll sort of cross it. They'll meet. They'll come up a couple and a few sides will come down a couple and it'll be, yeah.
All right, okay. Roosters. Currently sitting bottom of the table.
Mate, once again, as expected, I did not expect them to be any higher than this.
No, and if we look at it, they've had the 2 wins they have were totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Against some real contenders, but I've still got them horrible. I think
D?
I'll get them E. I'll give them an E because I think they've poor recruiting. All this was obvious to see.
Let's go E then. I'll go through
They've copped a couple of beltings. And they look for a side that's still got some good talent in that side.
E.
When we look at the Eels side and we line them up with what's in the Roosters side, even though they weren't expecting much, they should be better than what they are. So Trent, you got some work down there. Some pressure on your brother,
mate. Panthers.
Oh, D minus.
D. Yeah.
Yeah, D. Well, let's round them up to a D. Look, we've seen them.
Penny was going to drop at some stage.
They looked okay at Vegas, but since they've come back from Vegas, and you're right. The penny was going to drop. There's too many good players there, not to trip over a few wins. So I think they can fight their way back in the 8, but I think top 4 is certainly going to be well out of reach.
Knights, mate. D.
Yeah, D. I'll go with a D minus. I can't score points. Cannot score points.
It's bordering on inept.
Oh, and when you've got Carlin Ponga running around the back there, normally he sets up tries for fun, and he can't set up anything at the moment. They look really ordinary. So that's why I gave him. That's why I gave him the minus. I just think that, and Adam O'Brien should be under pressure because he's horrible. The side is not looking any better, and they'll now say they've solved their halfback problem with Dylan Brown, but I think it's just that's a whole $13 million issue they've got. Could be a $30 million anchor around there.
Mate, Titans 2 and 4.
So much. Look, they've come out, had the bye first up, lost their first game. Desi was furious.
1-2.
1-2, and everyone's gone, hang on a sec.
And they're gone again.
And since then they've been horrible. So I've got them a D.
D.
Yeah, I've got them a D. So I think there's a lot to happen with the Titans. Now they've lost Jaden Campbell. Look, they've got a regular half in, I think, which might help them. But again, their game plan wasn't built around a regular half.
Correct.
Is about all about eyes up.
Losing Kinney and Campbell.
Kinney, look, absolutely, and they're big blows. But you've got to You got to you just got to overcome it. But again, they refuse to get in the mark. They refuse to get into the market for a halfback, and I don't understand why.
Agreed.
I don't know if they've got salary cap issues.
Could be.
They can't.
Could potentially.
But they just simply refuse to want to do it. So
Now to the carnage of Campbelltown, West Tigers.
Hey, you're a bit early, mate. Sea Eagles are next on the ladder.
No, man. West Tigers are in 12th place.
Okay then. Well, let's go to carnage of Campbelltown. I like it. They're better than last year. They're
C
better.
minus? C?
Yeah, probably no. C plus.
C plus?
C
Okay.
plus, I think. I think the loss was a big. Had they have won on the weekend, there'd be a B for me. They would have been right up in the B, but that was disappointing. And that was a game that was there for them to win. And they would have been rubbing their hands together. We're playing the bottom plate Eels. Let's be honest, they've been pretty poor. This is an opportunity for us, and they certainly didn't look anywhere near as good as they can.
Now the boys from Brookvale.
Oh, I've got them down as a C minus,
Just a C.
just a straight C. The fact they're still a fair way out of the 8.
There's a lot of teams fair way out of the 8.
So you reckon just a C?
Just a C.
And where do they go from there? Where do they go from this?
Oh, mate. Well, how
Are they going to make the 8?
okay?
You have doubts that they're going to even make the 8.
How long's a piece of string?
Did Seabold just re-sign as well?
How long is the chance of Tom Travojevic staying injury free?
Well, you can't be confident about that. You just can't. Because
So,
unfortunately, the poor bugger gets.
If he is injured,
they definitely won't make.
they will not make the 8.
Yeah.
Especially with DCE gate at the moment.
And that's got to be sorted out one way or the other. It looks, and one half of that with Jamal Fogarty being offered a $3 million
Unofficially official deal with them.
another unofficial, yeah, which Ricky's not happy about. But Ricky, just get used to it, mate.
Fins up, mate. Fins up.
I got him a B minus.
They are rolling now.
I got him a B minus. I was going to go C plus because they were horrible in those first few games. But since then, they've won 3 on the trot.
They still should have won their first game, though, to be fair.
Oh, look, it's their own fault why they're not in the 8. So they should have actually been in there. Should have beaten Souths early.
I'll take that.
And
Yep.
been off and running. They're looking much better. They've got a tough assignment this weekend, but I think top 8 is definitely they should be thinking top 8 now after what we've seen, after beating who they've beaten, Penrith, the Storm. They should be looking at top 8. Nothing. They should be dissatisfied if they don't get there. Who's next on your little list here, mate?
Dragons, mate.
Dragons.
Oh, rabbits. Sorry, rabbits. Bunnies.
Are you going to miss the Cowboys? What about the Cowboys? You're going to miss them?
I was waiting for you, mate. That's why I left it there for you to take it. I gave it a short ball straight to you and you dropped it.
Well, no, I did not just. No, I was like a decoy. I was a decoy.
Cowboys.
3-3.
3-3.
3-3. Look, I've given them a C plus because they've managed to put some wins together now. So and they look much better in doing so, but they're still a long way off where they need to go. They certainly should make the 8. They should be thinking 8. And I reckon I've had a look at their draw. I reckon the back end of the year they should be able to comfortably get into the 8, finish somewhere 5th through to
8.
5th through to 8 somewhere. I think the top 4 is now gone just through a bad start and a tough draw.
Bunnies.
Where's my little list here? I did up Rabbitohs. Look, considering of no one thought they were going to do anything this year at all. At one stage they're in the top 4. Now they've drifted. They're still in the 8. I've actually given them where they're currently at an A and their injuries. I think they've performed really well. They're not going to stay there. We know that. I've actually got them as an A. I think because I didn't have them anywhere near the top 8.
Mate, they've been without basically half their side.
Yeah, so I've given them an A. But what do you think?
Mate, Uncle the sprinkling of Uncle Wayne's.
It was working early. I think it's wearing off. And we better give it another dose.
Immune. Mate. Yeah, A, B, B. Yeah, that B to A mark.
Let's give them a B plus then. Let's go B plus.
Like, obviously, the revelation of Jai Gray and Jamie Humphries was a big factor in that. Lockie Hubner was very good at lock. He's been out a couple of weeks. They've had.
I think it's exciting for Rabbitohs fans because they've got some older players there. Cody Walker being one of those.
Jack Whiten's been disappointing.
I agree, actually. I agree. He was okay last year. I tell you what, it makes his decision to leave Canberra look even more puzzling. I'm going to the Rabbits because I want to try and win a comp. At the moment, you're more of a chance of winning the comp, I reckon, at Canberra than you are at...
100%.
There. Next up, brother. Who's next?
Dragons, my friend. 3-3.
Dragons, 3-3. Mate, they're going okay. Mate, they're one of the...
They're a B.
For the wooden spoon. I had them an A- because I think they were picked for the spoon, and now they are in the 8. But where you want to go? B plus?
A lot of Gutherson's heroics. Holmes is starting to find a little bit of form.
Yeah.
Jacob Little's providing plenty of punch off that bench.
I think he looks really good. They look better when he comes on the field.
But mate, that's why is he looking good because he's coming on at that stage to look really good when they're tired and things like that as well.
That's his job, though.
Exactly. So, mate, I think Cookie's doing a good, decent job there. So, but yeah, mate, that B plus.
B plus. All right, we'll go B plus. All right. Sharkies next by my reckoning. Am I right?
It is at 6th place. Mate, they are a C.
Oh, you're going to C. Okay.
Mate,
I suppose Adam Fanua-Blake, they were back in the top 4, supposedly. This is going to be the final piece.
This is...
I had them a B.
They've had some A-B moments. They've also had a few sort of floundering moments.
Okay. All right. So you're very... So you sound a little bit disappointed.
Mate, I am. Their attack is so... For a side that when they're flowing, when they're on, they look great.
It's good to watch.
With Teague Walton, Nicker on the edges. Obviously, losing Katoa is a big thing.
It's certainly... It hasn't... They don't start this. Stone Street, it's not a bad finisher, but those tough carries, he's not the same ballpark as
and I think Militalo's had a rather poor start to the year.
Well, he's only had 1 try for the year.
Rather poor start to the year.
He still wants to be too lippy. Needs to really focus on his frigging game, in my opinion.
Brisbane up next. C.
I've got him a B. Mate, they're currently 5th.
I'm a little bit underwhelmed.
Only
because
I was going to rate him an E because I just can't stand him.
But I don't think the Benny Hunt, Reynolds, Walsh, Pakes has gelled as a spine.
You're
as
spruiking that at the start of the year,
mate. Massive spruik. I still think it's brilliant, but I don't think it's gelled or clicked as how it should have been. Where as individuals, Hunt's looked very good doing some things up that left edge, and Reynolds has done some great things, and Pakes has had a few really good moments. Walsh has been very, very clunky. But as a collective together, I think that's where it's been very much where the puzzles aren't quite going together yet. But
I think it's a case of, with some of the Brisbane players, they're waiting for somebody else, like your Payne Haas, like wait for someone else to do it rather than just get in and do it themselves.
Shibasaki's been a revelation.
A revelation?
Revelation.
Been
very good.
So what we decide? You want to see?
I've gone C, you said B, so...
We'll go C plus then, eh? Next, the Warriors. Keep winning. I'll give them an A.
Yeah.
Top 4.
Considering the cattle they lost, even though they got...
They looked a bit clunky
on the
the
weekend,
trials.
Mate, they had no Fisher Harris and no CNK. Yeah. Apparently he's going to Super League next year.
No, he's just re-signed. 2-year deal. Re-signed yesterday.
Okay. Before that, literally in the news yesterday in the morning.
That was, and then they said that they cut it off and they've now re-signed for 2 more years.
There you go.
So, heard it here.
Raiders?
I'll give him an A.
2 A, so it's Warriors A, Raiders A.
Well, again, another side that was tipped to finish bottom 4. They find themselves firmly in the 4. Look, I still think, and we said it last week, their best is really good, but they've had a couple of ordinary performances here where they've been pretty poor. We'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. Now the Jamal Fogarty thing seems to be coming to a head. When they bust that pimple, is it going to leave a scar? We're going to find out. Find out.
Interesting analogy there.
Let's just come up with
Dr.
that.
Spock.
Yeah.
Stormies.
They come in second. I'll give them an A minus. The loss and
I wouldn't mind saying it, mate.
they've still looked all right, mate.
They lost to Dragons, and they've lost to
just with no Jerome Hughes. But I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened last weekend.
If you take those equations as a bad day, it's an A.
Tonight? All right, let them an A. All right, let's do an A. I'm happy with that.
And
the Doggies, well,
that's an A plus.
has to be. They're undefeated. They did everything that's been asked of them.
They
Best
literally
defence in the comp by a mile, and look really good.
like that's the astounding thing. I'll just throw this at you. Against 58 Melbourne 136. Then you look at you got Sharkies 128,
Warriors 136.
and then
Dragons are pretty good, 118 for the Dragons.
there you go. So,
But the Dragons have struggled to score points, so yeah, they've struggled a little bit to score points. So interesting, very interesting. All right, well that's what we think. Let us know what you think. We're going to post them up on socials later. But I think there's some sides there. I think in the next few weeks we'll have a look at that top 8